let's talk about two potential contributing factors to adductor tightness. So the first one that I see on people is that they aren't actually fully loaded over a leg. So if I were here in a split stance, just set up for like a split squat or even a split stance hip hinge, and I'm not actually centered over my left foot, then what's going to happen is my pelvis is going to be over here, and the line of my weight is going to drop down more to the inside of my foot, pulling my knee in. This is going to then contribute to a femur that is adducted and shortening the adductor at the knee. Now, what we can do to fix this is sometimes it's simply thinking about shifting our weight up and over towards that front leg here. So now I am more centered on that front leg. My weight can then go evenly down through my pelvis and through my foot to help with that distribution of load. That'll help with improving glute opening and working more of the adductor proximally to help open that glute versus distally where that knee goes to collapse in. Now, an exercise that I like to kind of test this out a little bit, because sometimes it's not so obvious, and even use it then to do before the split squat, is this kind of slider squat. So what we're going to do here is we're going to stand on our left leg and we're going to have something slippery underneath the right foot. You can use a paper plate or a towel on a hardwood floor. But what we're going to think about even to start is you might notice that people are here when they go to start instead of actually being up and over the leg that's not on the slider. So definitely check in with that first. Then what we're going to think about here is I'm going to sit down into my left hip while my right leg slides out into the side. What I'm making sure of is as I go down that my pelvis doesn't shift with my right leg and that my pelvis doesn't turn, okay, or sit out to the side, but my hips stay nice and level. And I just think about like I'm kind of doing a single leg squat on that left leg, sitting straight down into that hip, sitting back into that glute. My nose, middle of chest, belly button, knee are all over my second and third toe. And then when I go to stand back up, I'm staying centered on that leg as I press up and the right leg kind of just floats back in. This can also be a great way to work on getting some length in the other adductor, which if this right adductor is tight up at the pelvis can kind of pull you over into this right hip and then again affect how you're loading on that left leg as well as affecting how you're loading on this right leg. So as I'm here, if I think about kind of pushing that leg out, but staying centered on that left leg, and then again, pressing to come back up. Sometimes it can feel helpful to think about, instead of just sliding this right foot out to the side, to slide it slightly forwards. That can help us kind of turn our pelvis towards that left hip to help it sit straight back. We can also pay attention to the angle of this right foot, making sure we're not letting that foot turn out, but almost reaching out with that heel more to again help turn this pelvis towards the left leg, to open the left glutes, keep us centered over this left leg, and effectively lengthen through the adductors on the right side in more of a balanced way. So remember, as we go to do it, we're thinking about sitting back, like there's a string pulling the sit bone straight back and straight down versus getting any of that swing. And then again, when we go to come back up, that we stayed centered over that left leg. Another sneaky thing that we can notice is when we go to come back up is how we might not want to stay on that left leg. So as I'm coming down, as I come back up, I tend to pull with my right adductor and have myself shift over to the right instead of pushing with the left glute and kind of letting that right leg be along for the ride. That then will affect our next rep for how we go down. So really focusing on, again, that right leg is just sliding out, rooting down through that left leg to help you come back up. So trying a few reps of those and then coming back to your split squat and seeing if you feel more centered over that leg, if it just feels easier to do. Now, a second sneaky contributing factor can go along the same idea of not using this left glute in this instance to help power you back up. So what this might look like is when you're doing a split squat, you'd pay attention to what the knee is doing. So maybe we're good and set up here. We're all centered straight ahead. We're loaded over that left leg in a, like I said, centered way instead of off to the side. And so we go down. Then what happens when we come back up? When we come back up, does that knee stay pointed straight ahead, or As we come back up, does the knee go to twist in with it? So now you can see with this twist in, I have a relative adduction and intra-rotation position of my femur that's having me use more of my adductors and my medial hamstring versus my glutes and my lateral hamstring to push me back out of it. I find one feedback area that you can pay attention to is heel pressures. So oftentimes if you put more pressure on the inside of your heel, then you're going to feel more adductors. If you put more pressure on the outside of the heel while still making sure you keep the base of your big toe down, then you're going to feel more glutes, glute med, and that lateral hamstring. So again, as I come down here, when I go to come back up, I might cue to think about pushing through the outside of the heel while keeping the base of that big toe down and see if that helps my knee and its positioning with it. So a couple different ways where we can explore, are we centered on that leg? How are we loading down into that leg? And then how are we coming back out of that leg to help set it up for success so that your adductors aren't dominating over other muscles?